Awaken to play. Hopefully things are going well for you guys. As for me, welcome to the Gamer Man's Lounge, and today we have another episode of Waifus of Gaming. Now, when it comes to Waifus of Gaming, I go ahead and pick a waifu and spend a lot of time talking about the waifu, what I think, things that we can both agree on, and whether or not she's the quality waifu or not. Now, today we're going to be talking about someone from Genshin Impact, but hold on, someone from Natlan, because I really do want to go and review the Natlan girls they already have my hands on, okay? And we're going to be reviewing Mualani. In the world of Teyvat, as Genshin Impact hits version 5, we finally get to go to Natlan. However, what about the version 5 characters, the characters representing Natlan, the characters who are from Natlan? Well, the first character in the first phase banner would be none other than Mualani. Mualani made debut in the first phase and became the first love of Natlan of mine. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say that. Now, before I get into my personal take, I'm just going to go ahead and go through her lore in a nutshell. Now, Mualani is a tour guide who also runs her own shop back at the People of the Springs. Now, People of the Springs is a tribe, and the People of the Springs have their own place, and their own place is like to go ahead and chill out and just want... It's like a resort. They're best also known for their hot springs. Okay, keep in mind about that. Now, I also do want to go ahead and keep right on going to Mualani herself. Now, when it comes to Mualani, I fell in love with her. I had some dreams about her. I have had fantasies about her. I looked at her, and she has that... Her cuteness excels a whole lot, but she also has the sex appeal that basically would carry along from other 5-star characters in Natlan, especially when it comes to the female characters. Like, everyone in Natlan is so frickin' sexy, especially Mualani included, but Mualani has more of that focus towards that cuteness. Now, I was a sucker for cute characters, and when it came to Mualani, I went all out. I want Mualani. I really want Mualani. When I lost the 50-50, I'm like, God damn it, I'll pay the $100, okay, to get the 80 pulls guaranteed for her. Okay, I was that willing to get Mualani, and with that totally said, I went all out to get her. Mualani is basically a ray of sunshine that represents not just her tribe being the People of the Springs, but also the entirety of Natlan, okay? Like, version 5 showed up, okay, the first banner, here comes Mualani, we get into the Natlan storyline, we run into Kachina, Kachina meets up with her friend who happens to be Mualani, and then, of course, we take a good look at Mualani and, oh dang, okay, that's all I gotta say. Okay, she is just so adorable, but at the same time, her sex appeal is just following and carrying along from the traditions of the Natlan waifu, okay, there's that. And of course, we get more story time with Mualani, and then people basically expose her abilities. We'll talk about that in a bit. And after that, things are very wild. I will go ahead and say, Mualani is very charming at the end of the day. Her cuteness and adorableness at the end of the day is what's basically going to kind of sell you into your affection towards Mualani at the end of the day. Now, let's go ahead and get right on going with the Waifu Labs Lounge in terms of her appeal. Mualani is sunshine for the People of the Springs. She is a highly energetic tour guide and an owner of a shop, and she likes to surf with her friend Sharky and bring cool vibes. She wears a two-piece outfit that can be utilized as swimwear. It is very decorated, and the color theme suits her very well. She has a cute and adorable face that also comes with creatively put in fish-like pupils. She has medium-length hair and wears a fancy ponytail. Mualani does carry milk, and you can get slight underboob presentation at best. Shoulder and armpit presentation is certain. Her midriff is shown off to show off more of her body decals, while her outfit is as revealing as long as it shows off her body decals. She is very curvaceous, and you will want to stick your finger in her belly button. The thighs are lap pillow quality, but with surprisingly more that kind of make it surprisingly more than lap pillow quality. Almost to be as thick as other Natlan 5 stars, she also does have a cute tushy. She does wear sandals, so feet presentation is guaranteed. The look of her feet is luxurious for some people. While she is at most cute and adorable, she is also sexy. The cute and sexy blend is present with Mualani. Here you go. You're going to end up falling in love with her at first sight. She will be your first love if you were, paying attention to the previews. And boy, oh boy, your first love would end up becoming Mualani, and then after Mualani, here comes more Natlan 5-star waifus, and you want them all. You couldn't make up your mind. You want them all. You want them all at the end of the day. And Mualani was the starting example of when it came to the sex appeal of characters in the world of Genshin Impact, and especially Teyvat. This is a very interesting thing, and I was very shocked when it came to the sex appeal of the Natlan 5-star waifus, because boy oh boy, it was quite the shocker to say the least at the end of the day. She is very loyal, she is very caring, she is very cute and adorable, and of course, when it comes to the sex appeal, she does inherit the sex appeal from the other 5-star Natlan waifus at the end of the day, especially though when they show up later in, banners, okay? The later banners, okay? In later versions, okay? You take one good look at her, and you kind of think to yourself, hey, my tour guide is cute and adorable and also hot. I really want to have sex with my tour guide. But what if I were to marry my tour guide? I could go for the endless sex combo. She's already exciting in bed at the end of the day, but no, seriously, let's get right on going and keep going when it comes to the abilities. Actually, hold on a minute. I seem to notice how Natlan 5-star characters seems to have ability that would excel in exploration and combat at the same time. And Mualani is no stranger to that, and yeah, you might want to notice that. We're looking at a Hydro Catalyst DPS, alright. She rides her friend Sharky. She basically relies on her friend Sharky, especially in combat. And when it comes to combat, Sharky becomes the secret weapon for Mualani. Now, when it comes to being Catalyst users, okay, now Mualani, Catalyst user, all her attacks are going to be infused with Hydro, no physical damage, okay? So her basic, Hydro damage, her charged attacks, Hydro damage, elemental burst, okay, Hydro attack, okay, at the end of the day. However, we can go through her E. You press the E button and she finally rides on Sharky. Now, outside of combat, she is very useful in exploration as you can travel through bodies of water without swimming, okay? As you basically surf on Sharky, you can travel across bodies of water, okay? Sharky acts as like this quick boat, this motorboat, okay? But in combat, Sharky becomes a missile that is capable of Hydro Nuke, okay, at the end of the day. Now, going back to the combat, Mualani's E will have her riding on her shark. You mark enemies 3 times, and you get those little fish icons lit up, and that's for the optimal damage result. You finally hit that button, and Mualani will basically crash into the opponent, causing Hydro damage, okay? But when it comes to her elemental burst, once again, make sure those 3 fishy icons light up for optimal results, she can basically do a much more massive AoE nuke, okay? That's where she's like, you know what? Hey, Sharky, do the best thing you ever could to basically end this battle quicker, okay? Then Sharky becomes a nuclear missile. Nuclear. I had to do a quick grammar correction there. So, here you go. Sharky becomes this nuke, and hell breaks loose. Boom, massive damage. So the question here today is, what is her favorite kind of hydro damage? That is Vaporize. I almost messed up on the pronunciation, by the way. Okay, so Vaporize is where I almost said Vaporwave. My goodness. But anyway, this is where you mix Hydro with Pyro, you create vape damage. And of course, when it comes to vape damage, well, Mavwika is a perfect teammate for that. As a matter of fact, if you want constant vape damage, you can add Emily to your team and, of course, cause Burning Reaction. So, Burning Reaction is where you put Dendro and Pyro, you get Burning Reaction. Then, during Burning Reaction, Pyro is guaranteed. This is where she can basically do the vape damage when it comes to Mualani. Okay, we're talking about Mualani right now, okay? You swap over to Mualani, you hit her E, or you basically hit the burst, and of course, here you go. Here comes the vape damage. Remember back in Fontaine where we were introduced to that dragon guy who happens to be New Valette, and he's that Hydro DPS, and you're like, I'm sorry, I do want a Hydro DPS, but I want a Hydro DPS waifu. And then, guess what? When version 5 came, your dreams came true. Here you go, a Hydro DPS waifu, Mualani, okay? She is basically based on crashing into her opponents, causing devastating Hydro damage, as well as causing some Hydro nukes. And at the end of the day, she's your go-to girl for Hydro DPS shenanigans. Now let's go ahead and focus more on exploration. This is where Mualani also excels at. Not only can she travel on top of water, surfing on top of water, and traveling across bodies of water at an accelerated rate than ever, she is also perfect for land travel at the end of the day. So she can traverse through land quicker, and then she can traverse through bodies of water very quicker. She doesn't even need to swim. She can surf. Okay, she's a surfer. She and Sharky both like to go out and go surfing, okay? Here you go. So there's that. So when she does go surfing with Sharky, that's where you can travel the world of especially Teyvat and especially Natlin very faster than ever. So in terms of exploration-based stuff, oh, and by the way, Mualani and Sharky both can surf on top of lava. Oh yeah, things get interesting really fast. So exploration capabilities are off the charts when it comes to Mualani. But you may have to keep in mind about her limits to her abilities, like that meter, like the surfing meter that's on the side of Mualani, and also make sure you have to keep in mind about that whole little bar in the bottom when you visit Natlin, okay? Just keep in mind about that. Had to go outside for a bit, but anyway, let's get right on going. Mualani excels really well in combat, but also excels really well in traveling Teyvat, especially Natlin. Also, Mualani, as we go ahead focus, she is definitely the quality of someone you really want to marry and also breed at the end of the day. Because, you know, she is cute and adorable, but however, carries the amount of sex appeal when it comes to the other 5-star characters in Natlin. And yes, Mualani does carry the amount of sex appeal that is familiar to other 5-star Natlin waifus. But she excels at most in cuteness at the end of the day. Now, Mualani is like the perfect summertime GF, but is more like the perfect summertime waifu. As a matter of fact, the perfect summertime wife where if you have her around, it's always summer, it's always like half of summer, until summer finally actually comes at the end of the day. That's Mualani in a nutshell. So with that totally said, I'm glad that Mualani is part of my roster in the collection of 5-star waifus that I am very happy to acquire and not end up losing the 50-50 to someone else, especially when it comes to a deluge bag. But hey, is Mualani recommendable? Absolutely, absolutely recommendable. She is a joy to have in your roster, and she is a joy to play as. You'll be addicted to playing as her. And with that totally said, this concludes today's episode of Waifus of Gaming. That's all. I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out.